should be up.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Hobby Night. I am Angela, and today I have more vampires. But these are not the same vampires we were working on previously, even though they are roughly the same colors because it's a sports team and that's how they work. But look, I actually got 4 of them done. Amazing! This is amazing. We're not going to talk about how many Chaos Cultists has finished. His entire army. He's completed his entire army already. And I'm sitting here with 4 completed dudes. Oh my god, I can't even put them all in my hand. So I've got these little four cuties in... Oh wait. Oh god. No, you're black orcs. No. Hello, Darren. Welcome to the stream. Oh my goodness. There's too many. No, he's not part of the team yet. You haven't paid for that guy. And can you even see him? I don't even think he's on screen. Here, let's move this guy a little closer. There you go. Yeah, he hasn't been bought. He's not part of the team yet. I mean, he's beautiful. It's absolutely like just
move out of your way when you need.
Gorgeous mini. But no, genuinely, I'm very, very like excited for CC's team to be complete. It'll be me being able to practice against black orcs, which I suspect, just based off of what he and I have been discussing in regards to...
You will have no practice against fast teams.
Yeah, I will not have practice against fast teams, but I myself am a fast team, so that's...
Yeah.
I feel like I may be some of the faster ones. Oh, Darren, welcome to the Hobby Night Legionnaire. It's lovely to have you. Or the Hobby Night Legion, as you are now a Legionnaire. I can speak, I swear. I actually can't. It's a very big problem. But thank you, and welcome. And to all 13 of you who are already here and ready to go, it's lovely to have you all here.
How's volume on music?
Here, let me check.
I meant ask them.
Oh, how is the volume on music, everybody? I was about to turn on the volume and be like, hey, let me see, and like get double audio going for you guys, but no, let's not do that. You guys tell me how music is. Also, hello to Alex and Havman. It is lovely to have both of you here as well. Oh, one more little gobbo friend. There we go. Okay, so we've got our 4 boys, our 4 first boys done. We were working on them last time. I really like what I did with my basing, by the way. I went with, I did Sterling Mud as my texture, but then I went ahead and did a dry brush first of, what is it called? Rakkar Flesh. And then I did a wash of Agrath Earthshade and did a second layer of Rakkar Flesh, which I think allowed the wash to do a little bit more work for me, and create a little bit more of a natural, slightly more subtle look. I'm really loving them, although I am going to tough them a lot. Although I'm going to end up doing so. I'm going to show Chaos Cultist off for a moment. I really like what he did, actually. I'm going to bring this up and have it focus.
Other way.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so you can see that he used multiple tufts styling on here. I think there's 4 in total, because we got a dark brown, the flowers, these like taller green ones, but then there's also these shorter green ones. Most of these, if not all of them, are Gamer's Grass tufts. There might be like one set of the Army Painter ones on here, but I think they're all Gamer's Grass. I love their stuff. And I love the multitude of colors used, so I'm going to do the same thing on mine. However, I'm going to have a little bit less vibrant color tones because mine are supposed to be vampires. And I just feel like that I should go with slightly deader grasses, but I still want to have a little bit of color in there. I think that would be good. So sound is good, by the way, is what chat's saying.
Thank you.
You're snacking on some pineapple and potato chips? What an interesting combination. I mean, I like both potato chips and pineapple, but I don't know if I've ever eaten them together. But I'm not going to knock it because I like pineapple on pizza, so... And people knock that all the time as if it's blasphemous, which it is not. Okay, so the next thing, so what I've done on my current 4 groups of vampires is I have gotten their clothing and their armor mostly done, and I'm currently working on the metallic step for the armor. So we're going to keep doing that. I got his arm plate done. We need to do the back piece on this guy. So I think that's what we'll continue working on. And we can chat and hang out along the way. All right, let me get my palette back over here. pressing my washi tape down a little bit more. There's one of them that I just did not stick it very well, and I think the priming process lifted, like, it killed the stickiness a little bit because of the heat. And actually might not have been the priming, like the paint process itself. I think it might have just been because it was out in the sun and to dry, and it was very, very warm because we're currently going through another heat wave. So I think it was like 90 something out Fahrenheit.
Yeah, my plants are hiding where that happened on mine.
Ah, yes, that makes sense. I'm hoping once I actually get the texture paint down, because these are ones that I haven't put the texture paint on yet.
Oh, yeah.
Thankfully, the ones that I did put the texture paint on already have not had this problem. But I'm hoping once I get the texture paint on there, it'll just smush it down. Tyler, welcome, welcome. It's lovely to have you. Oh yeah, I should also turn it this way so that it doesn't hide some of your guys' text. You're not combining them, you're eating them completely separately. But you're still eating them like at the so you're like pineapple, or is it dried pineapple, or are you eating like a pineapple cup where it's in syrup? Like, cause I'm like, I think I could imagine the dried pineapple with the chips more, but like I'm trying to imagine like somebody with a fruit cup, you know, like those like fruit cups that you get from the grocery store or whatever, eating that and being like, yes, this is my healthy snack. And now I'm gonna eat a handful of salty chips. That would be a me thing to do. I guess maybe I shouldn't have such a hard time doing it, because I actually can imagine myself doing it. It's just I wouldn't do it with pineapple and potato chips. I would do it with like raspberries, strawberries, bananas, and then like those white cheddar cheese puffs from Cheetos, because I am addicted. You think the background sound is pretty loud compared to my voice? Okay. Well, let's adjust that a smidge then. Salty chips, not tips. Here's my salty tips on how to be a better painter. We're gonna be angry the entire time we're talking about it because we're real salty about having to paint our miniatures. We do love doing it. That would be a lie. Use frozen pineapple and Chardonnay. Perfect for fruit. You know, I could believe that, actually. I don't normally like a lot of wines. Like, I'm not a big wine drinker, which was such a shame when I went to Paris. Or when I did a study abroad in France for 3 months.
You should be louder now.
I should be louder now? Perfect. Excellent. I'm also adjusting the microphone a smidge closer to me, but hopefully that'll be better. But yeah, I tried a bunch of different wines. I tried cheap wines, I tried expensive wines, I tried rosés and whites and reds, and I hated all of them. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going to be spending an arm and a leg on hard liquor. Because I also don't really like the flavor of beer either. Like, I don't like the flavor of hops whatsoever. And everything else was really expensive. Like, hard liquor is so expensive when I was visiting France. I don't know if it's the same way, but...
Most of it's imported.
Oh, is that why? Is it because it's all imported?
A lot of it.
That does make a huge amount of sense.
America makes a lot of liquor.
Oh, yeah, America making a lot of liquor makes a lot of sense to me. I was also, like, literally buying Malibu coconut rum at one point, so...
Yeah, that's import shit.
That makes sense. I do actually think it was in the import aisle, now that you say that. In the liquor store that we went into, because it was definitely in Paris. Ho ho ho. Sweet Petty. It was a really cool time, actually. And I was very excited because I got to go to the Notre Dame before it, burned. Again.
Almost done.
Is it good? I knew they were rebuilding it. They were
aiming for the Olympics. It didn't quite happen.
Okay. I think that's why it was in my brain recently. Because I was like, I thought they were like...
I think it's going to be done like next year.
Oh, they were 1 year off. That's such a shame for them. I definitely like cocktails, yes. Cocktails are my drink of choice, or my style of drink, I guess, of choice. I'm all about them pina coladas. Give me a pina colada and I will be a happy lady. Mostly because I won't be able to tell how drunk I'm getting. Because I can't taste it. Because all I taste is sweet, sweet pineapple. And coconut. But the coconut's the rum. Okay, so we've gotten that piece done. We need to do a little bit on the belt. Because there's like a little sort of buckly thing on the belt. We can take care of that right now. I'm not going to bother doing the metallics on the armor or the straps yet. Because I want to paint those first and use that as its wash. Long drinks, like a Long Island. I'm not a huge fan of Long Islands just because it's... I mean, honestly, that's a lot of stuff in one drink, and also Coke, and I'm not a big fan of Coca-Cola. I don't like it with rum. Because I've tried having like rum and Cokes, because I generally like rum. Although I like white rums more than I like dark rums. Mostly because, again, I like them to go fruity rather than spicy, I guess. Dark rums are usually spicier.
Yep.
Although, I haven't had a dark rum in a really long time. I probably would like it more now. So I do a lot of rums, but I don't like Coke. Coke is just so gross. So any drink that has Coke in it, I tend to avoid and not really like. I've actually never had a gin and tonic.
Really?
Yep, never had one.
Huh.
And all the times, even when we were in Savannah, I don't remember. If I have, it was a sip off of somebody else's, and it was so uninspiring that I do not recall it. But I don't know. I don't think I've ever had a gin and tonic. I've done Di Serona on the rocks, for just straight liquor on ice. And I've done Malibu coconut rum on the rocks before. But again, that's just kind of tastes like coconut, and you don't really taste any of the alcohol. Alright, so we've got him painted up. I think we're good everywhere on the sled. So I'm going to pop him off, and we're going to get... Oh, there's one other thing, actually, that I want to go ahead and just... No, we'll wait. We'll wait until we do the actual leathers. Okay, so that's good. Let's get the next guy in. He's going to have a bit more to paint on him because we're going to do something a little bit more with the helmet. With some metallics. Although I'm not going to do exactly the same as what I did with my other ones. I'm trying to allow there to be... I mean, it doesn't really matter. These are all just linemen. I don't know why I'm trying to pair them up, but I'm trying to pair them up and make them sort of match. So this set is both of the guys with the helmets, and they're going to have black wings on theirs as opposed to the silver wings like the other guys do. And then the other team is both the unhelmeted guys, and one of them has the bat. And the other one is the fancy blonde dude that I really like the face of. Well, he's not blonde yet, but I'm going to make him blonde. If you can't spell tonight, it's because of gin and tonic. I understand, Alex. I understand. We will never hold spelling errors against you. I can't spell at all. I mean, I can, but...
A-T space A-L-L at all.
Oh, and here I was going to spell it A-T-O-L-L.
I get it.
I'm so not funny. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm very ashamed. Oh my god. Speaking of laughing, I'm glad everybody seems to be enjoying the Try Not to Laugh that we posted recently. The frog, I still think about it. And it makes me just... Kill! It's so good. Oh, it was so dumb. It's perfect because the barks in Dawn of War are just genuinely some of the most charming, iconic barks in my mind ever.
Yep.
And it's just, and his little face he just looks so angry. And it's so perfect for a Space Marine. And I just can't help but love it. How are we doing?
Good. I was checking to see if we were having connection issues, and we're not.
Okay, good. Good. I really think yesterday it was because of the, I bet it was Epic trying to update something. Because I had that open.
It could have very well been.
Wonder if that's what causes my connection sometimes with Final Fantasy.
It might actually.
Because occasionally when I'm playing that game, I'll just like randomly disconnect from the game, and Chaos Cultist and I will both be playing it, and he won't. And I'm just like, what's going on? What's wrong with my computer? It's me. I'm cursed with technology. This is very true.
Exactly.
Oh, I also don't drink alcohol very often.
We're California sober.
Yeah, we're California sober, if you know what that means.
They should.
They should. I mean, you guys have... In fact, do we have it? Okay, yeah, I see it. I'll probably have some of that later.
Sure, not a lot, so.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go tomorrow, I think, and restock.
Okay.
Alright. Let's work on the helmet. Oh, no worries. You can watch it whenever you want. And then you can rewatch it again whenever you want. In fact, rewatch it as many times as you feel necessary.
+5.
+5. Yes, exactly. Alright, so the plan is I want to be a little cleaner here because I don't want to get the silver on the wing portions, but I want to get it on everything else. Just to make them stand out a little bit differently from the other guys. I need to get them all numbered. Figure out what numbers I want to make them. I think they generally should stick on the numbers on like a... I think there's a 12-sided die or something that you roll when you're doing upgrades or like your end step when you're in league play.
If you're doing random upgrades, you roll 2d6 and it tells you where.
It tells you like
where on a chart.
Got it. Okay.
The first one is on 1 to 3, you're on one chart, and if you're on 4 to 6, you're on the other chart, and then it depends, and then the number goes to that chart.
Okay, and I think there's a point when you're like awarding XP to your team. I think there's a point where you like have to roll there.
For the MVP.
Yes, thank you. That's what it is exactly for MVP. And I think you roll, and I think it has to be a number that can like appear on a die for their because you're
it's on your roster sheet.
Yeah. That's true. I could just give them a die number on the roster sheet and give them like an 81 if I want for like their team number. Because like, isn't that a thing? Like in football, they like in normal football, they just have like whatever their favorite number or something is.
No, it's not. No, it's assigned by their team.
Oh, is it assigned by the team? I didn't know if they had a choice in like.
No, because people can't have the same number on the same team.
Oh well, yeah. I assumed. Okay, sorry. I assumed that like
if you are like Kobe Bryant level or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, you can probably ask for a number if it's available.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure it's just assigned by the team.
That makes sense. I just kind of assumed they were like, okay, what's your...
What happens is you have that number until you're off the team, and if you were like extremely good, legendary status,
then
the team retires the number.
Oh.
And no longer gives anyone that number, and that's when you'll be in like a stadium and you see like 12 hanging from the stadium rafters.
Yeah.
That's because that team had a player whose number was 12.
And they retired.
Something. And they honored him by retiring the number in their name.
Okay.
But assignment, I think, is pretty random.
Okay. I always thought it was like, okay, what's your favorite number? And they were like, we'll use 12 as the same example. They were like 12, and they're like, oh, sorry, that number's already taken. Do you have a different favorite number? And like, I just figured you kept picking numbers until there was one available. I didn't realize it was a little bit more specific of like, all right, here you go. You've been hired, and we have assigned you number 8 or number 52 or whatever.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Somebody can correct me if there's more politics to it than that.
You sometimes have a choice? Okay, that makes sense. Like, it does make sense that, like, the higher up, like, the more of a star player you are for said team, the more desirable, I guess, the higher your paycheck is, the more likely you are to probably be able to pick it. But I really thought, like, everybody just kind of literally just started naming numbers until one was available. Which, in hindsight, does seem a little bit silly, but... That's what I thought it was. Obviously they treat it like playgrounds, right? Yes, that would be my number, 69. Completely.
Nice.
What was the last thing that made me laugh out loud?
Your mother.
I think there was something I was watching on YouTube this morning that probably made me laugh out loud. I'm pretty sure we watched like a Wubby try not to laugh, and I probably failed. So I don't. It's something stupid on the internet. I know that my it was a very lovely morning getting to go to the farmer's market with the Chaos Cultist. We got some fresh fruit. I got some fresh vegetables. Bought some new flowers. Very, very exciting to be able to do that. Like. On a weekly basis. I'm just so hyped. Okay, I think this lad's looking good. We have left the wings untouched. Oh, there's a little bit on the back side of this, like, the ear padding? Ear protection? So if they get clobbered in the head, I guess their eardrums don't burst. Which I imagine probably actually is a problem. Okay, I think he's good. Those are our 2 red-panted fellows. Let's work on the guys that are wearing black. Oh, right. I haven't finished painting. Okay, so that's what I need to do on you. He still has one little piece of armor that I forgot to paint. I needed it to dry because I had washed his pants, and I need to do some cleanup on it because I got some red, and it needs to be painted black. So we'll do that here in a second, but in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and paint his metallics. I think that's what we'll do next. You were born in 69? Nice. Nice. What a great year to be born. Or maybe a very tiresome year to be born. I don't know. It depends on if you enjoy people going nice every time you say, like, the year. Actually, I used to not really like metallic paint too much, but I feel like all of the brands have really improved their design. Oh, speaking of which, Ivan, you asked about what do I think about AI? I am not a big fan of it. I think it has its uses in regards to like potentially helping people find information, but in regards to like the art scene, not a big fan. Don't like how many jobs it's taking from people, just in general. Don't like how many people's jobs it can take. And I don't like how much people are relying on it for how not actually intelligent it seems to be, considering its real function is to be able to look up information on the internet and like bring it together for you, but it's not like fact checking, or it's not always pulling from reliable sources and therefore giving a lot of false information. So
it can't actually do a job either.
It also can't actually, it
can't do a job with intent.
Yes, it can't create or do anything with intent. A job, making art, telling a story, like it is just regurgitating things from elsewhere online back at you. And for me, that's not valuable yet in any capacity, and it's especially not cool how, like I said, I don't like it in the art field. I don't think it has a place there outside of like I don't want purely AI produced anything. I think, again, AI has its benefits in regarding to like being able to enhance some certain things. Really, that's where it should end. I don't want it to like fully produce anything. Player numbers picking goes the way it goes that way basically across all sports. So no, players can pick any number, but if the number is already taken, they can't use it, or they make a deal with that player of the current number. Okay, interesting. Oh, well, thank you, Alex. We really appreciate you being here. All right, let's keep going. We've got a little bit more metallic work to do, a little bit of cleanup on one piece of our boy's armor, and then we can start moving on to more details, and then the shirts. A lot of cleanup on those shirts. Because I'll admit, I was a wee bit sloppy with my red paint in some cases. Oh, we'll need to do the wash on all the metallics as well. Don't let me forget to do the wash on all the metallics. Alright, so we're looking good there. We've got all the metallics on this particular dude. Let's take care of our cleanup fella before we finish his metallic. Well, actually, you know what? The piece that we need to paint doesn't need metallic on it. And since I've got it out and it's still wet, let's do that first. Let's be smart and use the paint that we've got available and out now that's currently not dried, and take care of those pieces, because we can do the other cleanup before we move on to anything else. That feels like the smart thing to do. There we go. Nice. And then we'll make sure to get the back of his helmet as well. There we go, and now the front side. Oh, no. If you get a paint like mistake fast, even if it's kind of like brushed on almost dry brush style, and you wet it, you can usually get it back off, and that's exactly what I was just able to do on his helmet, where I got some metallic paint that I didn't want. Like, I'll probably still need to go over a little bit more with some black paint, but it won't be too bad. Chef J4, I agree. We all need to paint a little bit more. I know I had not been painting for a long time, mostly because of the move, but it was it was getting to me, and I'm very much enjoying getting back into it. I'm blown away by how fast Chaos Cultist got his team done. Nah, 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 nah. Let's get the edge here. The edges of those armor. Okay, that looks good. Oh. Then I got a little bit on the black. Dang it. Let's see if we can get that up. Yep, I think we mostly did. Nothing a little wash won't be able to take care of. Alright, so now it's just the helmet, and then we can move on to that little armor piece. Well, I mean, if you're a sports guy, it makes you a reliable source for some sports question information. Alright, let's get this helmet painted. Looking good so far. There we go. Gotta figure out which date I want to go meet up with Meg to have our first game for our league. Which I found out recently. We were streaming. And I'm like, oh, okay. Exciting. So if you've ever wanted to see me play a live game of tabletop, this will be a way. I'll let you guys know dates soon. I haven't fully decided. I need to get the team finished, painted up first. But yes, I am. It's going to be coming up in September. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm a little scared. I have never actually done any on-camera gameplay like that. I have played some board games, or at least social deduction games, on camera before, thanks to my time with No Rules Bard, back when they were doing the Blood on the Clock Tower pieces and everything like that. But beyond that, I haven't really played anything else like collaboratively or on a channel like that. That's not just been a video game. So it's going to be a completely new experience. And I hope I don't suck at it. Alright, I think that is good. Oh, there's a little bit on the front here. I'm just gonna kind of bring him up close to me for a second to do that. I know he may not be fully... Yeah, you can just see my hand. Don't worry, he'll be back in a sec.
Huh?
Oh, I needed to bring him a little bit closer to me to be able to do this detail work, and so I took him off camera, and I'm just telling chat that don't worry, he'll be back in a second. Go, and I think we're good now. Looks good. You need to find a new Blood Bowl team to paint. I mean, the vampires, well, yes, they do definitely suck, and these poor fellas. So remember how actually last time we were working on these, I was looking at the Band-Aids going, I wonder if this is because, like, mid-game, the vampires are having to chomp on them. And yes, that is in fact a mechanic. And it can potentially kill them. So my own team can kill itself. That's going to be really fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a challenge. Although my boys are fast. They're fast and they can throw, which I've never actually played with a throwing team before. It's going to be very different from... Oh, let me... We've been a half an hour. I didn't realize. Time's just been flying. I'm going to turn off the camera real quick and turn it back on since...
Yeah, give it like a minute or two.
Yeah, I'm going to. Because it actually had turned itself off.
Yeah, it's for the sensor.
But I think it just did it, so we'll get that back on. Yes, we are going to be playing a live game, or I will be playing a live game with the Hobby Collab. My first match is actually going to be against Meg. I'm going up against her Nurgle team. Very spooky. I actually don't know much about the Nurgle team. Although
they are tough and slow.
Oh, well, good. You will be a great practice then.
Honestly, it's not dissimilar.
Cool. Awesome. So, going up against her Nurgle, that'll be happening in the last week of September. Not the one that goes, like, into the next month. Like, that crosses over with November, but, like, the last full week of September. So, like, the 22nd through the 28th. We haven't scheduled the actual date yet for when the game is happening, but we have the range. So I'm really looking forward to that. Like I said, I'm very nervous because I have never done in-person tabletop gaming live before, but should be pretty cool. And it's against Meg, so it should be very fun. Like, we get along quite well, so I'm very excited for that. We'll give you more details as soon as that actually happens. Okay, I didn't think it had been off for very long. Because I literally just, like, I remember glancing up and seeing it be live for at least a little bit. Okay, I think we're done with the metallics. So, before I do anything else, before I forget, I'm going to bring out the Wraithbone. We're going to tidy up this one last piece of his armor that we need to do. This last guy that we just worked on. Because it needs to be painted black, but I got some red on it, so we had to... Where's my palette? There it is. We need to fix that. I really need to set up my wet palette because of how many opaque colors I've been using. Like, I don't really, like, I'm not pulling out such huge globs of paint that I'm really feeling like I'm wasting that much. But it would be kind of nice to just not have to constantly go back and forth between them. I suppose. What am I doing? The armor, Angela. Alright, so let's get this tidied up. And while we kind of let this dry, we'll go ahead and do the Nuln Oil on the metallics. Because again, it doesn't impact this particular piece in any capacity. And while we're doing this, I am going to tidy up the belt, because we will want to paint that in a leather color tone here in a sec. That'll be the next step after the wash, is to clean up all the leathers. So I'm going to just take care of that now on this guy, because I've already got the paint out. So might as well. Oh my gosh, she should not be nervous to play me because I've played it before. I remember nothing. And it's also a completely new team. So it's going to be completely different from how I played previously. I am going to do some practice games. I'm certain she will do some practice games too, but she shouldn't be nervous. I'm going to do my best in the same way that she's going to do her best, but I feel like she's probably going to go in with almost as much knowledge as me. Like, I'll have the one... Oh no. What?
That is the speech of a loser. You're going to go in there fighting, bloodthirsty. You're going to tear her apart. You are going to rip and tear until it is done.
All right. Okay. Excellent. You're right. I'm gonna go in and I'm sucking some blood. If only I could attack my enemies.
It's called fouling.
No, I meant like if only I could eat them as part of my bloodthirst ability.
I mean, you also have your hypnotic gaze.
True. I can seduce the Nurgle demons?
Yes, actually.
You know what? I love that idea, and it's it is definitely not something I ever thought I would say. But yeah, apparently I can seduce Nurgle demons. How exciting.
I'm sorry, headphone users. Not really. Are you okay?
Yeah, you killed me with that not really. I don't even know if they heard it. But after you said sorry headphone users and then silently and then softly said not really. Like I died. I died. That's true. You guys aren't going to care who wins. It'll just be cool to see us both play, right? I completely agree. No, we're going to have some fun. I'm really, really excited to play Meg. I need to get back to her again, like I said, on when I can head over to her place to do our first game. But as soon as we know that, I'll definitely let you guys know. I am going to be meeting up with her, is it next weekend?
Yes.
Okay, so next weekend on Sunday the 8th, I believe it is, we will be hanging out and I will be working on my team. She'll be working on her team. At that point, I should be on to the vampires themselves rather than just working on the linemen. But to warm myself up, I wanted to work on the linemen first, which is why we've been chilling with these humans for a little bit. You heard it and you're not wearing headphones. Okay, good. Good. Just seduce Meg instead. You know what? I'll try my best. I'll do my best to try to seduce Meg. We'll see we'll see what we can get there. I'll cast my vampiric seduction on her. I have to plan out a really fun outfit to wear for that. I have I'll need to see how comfortable they are because I haven't tried them on yet, but I did actually buy for the painting tutorial that I want to do based around these guys. I went ahead and bought myself some fangs that you use dental cement to keep in place. They were pretty highly rated, and I think it's like a brand that's I think kind of well-known-ish. I don't remember what it is, but it comes in a coffin case, which I think I have seen. And I know you're probably paying partially for the coffin case. I get that. But they weren't even that expensive, honestly. They were fairly cheap. But seemed like they said, they had really good reviews. So I'm going to try those. And if they're comfortable and I don't bite myself a bunch and give myself canker sores or something because I keep biting my lips with them, I will consider wearing them to our game that I play on the Hobby collab with Meg, since I am running a vampire team. As long as they don't cause pain. But if they do, then I will probably not. I'll do it for the video still because that can be a short term. I can take them out pretty quick. But if they're not bad, I will genuinely be very happy to wear them. Actually all of the time and just pretend that I'm a vampire going forward. Hashtag goals. Oh my god, I just painted the wrong thing. Idiot. Can you get that off? I mean, I can just put red over top of it. I'm an idiot. Alright. Well, let's paint the thing I meant to paint. After I dry this thing off. Oh, I can't believe I did that. I mean, it's a tiny little thing. It'll be fine, but it's just annoying. Well, that's kind of... So, I need to find... Actually, I might have a Ruffles shirt. I have one that I got at a run fair a couple years ago, and that might actually be good. But it's more of a... I think it's more of an off-white.
I don't think it is.
You don't think it would be?
It's right for what you're thinking.
Okay, well, there's a number of, like, antique and secondhand shops, actually, nearby, and I am totally down for potentially going and finding a Ruffles shirt that does that, because I completely know what you mean, and yeah, going with the classic, like, Count Dracula look. The other thing is Halloween stores are popping up. So I could just go get like a Count Dracula, like a femme Count Dracula outfit and just wear that. Because I think it would also fit the aesthetic of this particular team. And I already have the fangs. Because I was going to initially just get like the cheap like pop-in fangs. Like not the really cheap ones, like the super plasticky looking ones. But I was going to get like a more full over the teeth. But those are always really uncomfortable. So I decided not to. Hey Diggs, welcome to the stream. It's lovely to have you here. Hope you're doing well. Dude, I got my first plants. I don't know if you and I have chatted since, and I know you do a lot of outdoorsy stuff. But I have like a little bit of a yard now, and I bought my first like potted plants, and I'm so excited about it. Okay, the thing that I meant to paint is in the crevasse between the two. Alright, there we go. Got that. We need to do a little cleanup there, because there's some metallic on what is definitely going to be leather. I don't really care about the shirt so much, because that will be painted in a pure white after all is said and done, so don't worry yourself about cleaning that up, Angela. You will want to clean up these bat boots, though, because those also need black, just like the armor we're working on cleaning up as well. So, don't forget that. Ooh, dummy. That would be cool. No problem. We'll see when you get back, Diggs. What kind of flower seeds do they have? Because I know sometimes they're a little regional, right? Bless you. There we go. That's looking so much better. So I decided on these two guys that have like these really elaborate wings on their boots that I was going to do. Here, I can show you on this guy. Let's see. There we go. So on him, I went ahead and painted the boots, the bats on his boots in red. And the other ones will be just the rest of the boot will end up being in a leather tone. And I'm going to do the opposite on this guy because he's got the black armor. So this guy is going to have black on the boots, which I think will just be kind of a fun little touch. I also, while we're showing off some of the unique things on these guys, because this man has a bat, he's got like a glove on for preventing the bat from hurting him, I guess. And so I decided to do that also in a black and red. Predominantly black because he's wearing the black pants, but I figured the red would be a nice like little trim effect since his armor was also in red, just as a nice compliment. Thank you for subscribing, Valerian Bajak. It's lovely to have you here. Hello, Check for Traps MTG. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a grand day. Okay, so we got them done. I'm still doing a little bit of my cleanup stuff on because we found those boots that we needed to tidy up too. Okay, and then let's not forget to redo that little bit of red on the belt strap. Because I always forget that. Like, whenever I paint miniatures, if they have normal pants on where they can have a belt and they've got belt loops on those pants, like 9 times out of 10, I will forget until the very, very end of the painting step to actually go back in and like fix all those, because I'll not read them when it's just in its primed state as like the belt loop that it is, as it being part of the pants and not just part of the belt itself. Ooh, vegetable seeds would be cool. I know I've definitely wanted to get into like just like basic peppers, like habanero peppers or jalapeno peppers. Because then I can make my own salsa. Although, dude, oh, I forgot to refocus further away. Sorry about that. Hold on. There we go. That should be good. Hello, Simon. Welcome. Welcome. Hope you're having a lovely day. Oh, but as I was saying, like with fruits and vegetables, like honestly, I have such an amazing farmer's market that I really don't even feel like I need to grow my own vegetables. Although I don't know. The idea of trying to grow my own like food though does sound very appealing. It is something that I was very excited about when we found out we were moving out here. I was like, okay, well that's going to be cool at least. And I have an area in the backyard that I like intend to kind of set up as like a little garden. We'll see if I do it. Alright, we're cleaning up the boots. This might take a little bit of effort just because I was a wee bit sloppy. It's fine though. It's fine. I just need to get these done so I can play. So I can practice. So I can kick Meg's butt. Boop, 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 boop. Take those skulls for the skull throne. I'm gonna feel so bad beating up Nurgle. I say it as if I'm actually confident that I'm going to win. That Nuffle's not.
I like that confidence.
Not that Nuffle's not gonna absolutely betray me for my arrogance and just be like, you're gonna roll nothing but failures every time any of your models go into Bloodthirst. They are going to absolutely kill your linemen, leaving you with 6 players on the field. Good luck. It's gonna be wild. Oh, well, thank you, Havman. I really appreciate that. Oh, yes, we are settling into the new home quite well. I am loving the space. One of the things especially that has been just very nice is having the hobby table back in with the gaming space. Like our PC gaming space. Because it just means we can hang out a little bit more. I just feel so much more productive, which is great. Alright, this should be almost tidied up completely. There's just a little bit of a red, like, haze left on it still that I'm trying to slowly layer up and cover. We should be good to go with a little bit of Black Templar in just a moment before moving on to our actual leathers. What did you guys think of the recent Chaos Dwarf reveal that we saw at the Nova Open for Blood Bowl? I thought they were pretty cool. like, not the most exciting team, I'll admit. Like, nice to see them. Like, Chaos Dwarves are definitely a classic. And honestly, I wish they were involved in more of the just, like, standard setting. Over being kind of regulated mostly to the goofy sort of settings like Blood Bowl. But regardless, it is nice to see fully updated units for them, and honestly, some that even look like they could be used in just a normal game of either 40k or Warhammer Fantasy Battle, depending on like what you're doing. But very fun. I did like the Centaurs. They were rad. I think that was probably my favorite unit. I think because it's really cool how giant those feel as a basic player model that you can bring in. Because, like, a lot of times when you get, like, your big chonkier units in Blood Bowl, they tend to be your star players. Which means that unless you're playing in, like, a tournament or casually, you're probably, or you're late into a league that's been going for, like, multiple seasons, you probably aren't going to be using them very often. Which, I mean, I guess most people probably play casually and just are like, fuck it, and just say that you can use a star player if you have it. But I actually don't know. I've only mostly played in, like, official things. Yeah, they were a really cool look, weren't they? Okay, that's looking decent. That's looking mostly ready to go for that. The boots, still seeing a little bit more red than I want, but honestly, I'm probably being picky. Probably just being a little picky. Okay, yeah, I think I am. Yes. I am content to pull up Black Templar. There you are. Oh yeah, I completely agree, Tactile Sun. They have a lot of kit bash potential. I also just think they would be fun, honestly, just to add into a Chaos army. Maybe it's because I just watched a game played by Tabletop Tactics of World Eaters versus Sisters, and there was definitely one of the World Eater units was on a Juggernaut, and I also found some of mine recently, so like mobile Khorne units are like on my mind. And so I'm just imagining like these centaurs in a Khorne army, because it just feels appropriate. You know, I have considered doing larger builds for like terrain boards. Blood Bowl has not actually been on the foreground of like something, or the forefront of not the foreground, sorry, the forefront of my brain as a like that being a cool project. But now that you say it, especially with this league happening, it could be something fun to do, especially if I could like, dude, it would be, okay, I don't think this would work with play necessarily, but imagine like for photo shoots, having a board, like a field, like a pitch done up, and then actually having stadium stands with various Age of Sigmar figures or Warhammer Fantasy Battle figures in them, representing the onlookers. God, that would be so cool. Somebody's probably done that. Like, I have zero doubts that somebody far more talented than me out there has probably done that. But that sounds like such a fun idea. Oh, fuck. That sounds like a really cool idea. It's also a smaller scale and a little less daunting than, like, the board that I was originally wanting to work on this year that got kind of, like, postponed because of the move. Okay, and now my brain is, like, turning and I have some fun ideas planning around. Let's get the team painted first before worrying about doing our custom built pitch. Speaking of pitches though and custom ones, I think 80% sure that there's a pitch for the vampire squad specifically. I need to see if I can find that. Because that would be fun. I bet it's spooky. I think I have the necromantic horror one. But it might just be the one that... I might just have the one that came in the season 2 box set. Which edition are we on again? It's 4th?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. Such a confusing thing to do. Let's not mislead that edge. That would be bad. Gentle, gentle, delicately. Clean. Yeah. Alright, that looks great. Now on to the bat boots. The bat boots! Sounds like something Batman would wear. I mean, he probably does. Alfred, get my bat boots. Actually, no, it's probably Alfred, get my bat slippers. I'll be retiring upstairs for the evening. I require my bat robe, my bat slippers, and my bat remote, please. I'm imagining this is, of course, the Batman that has the bat credit card.
Ben Affleck.
Yes, there we go, the Ben Affleck one. Is that in Batman and Robin? Is that where that one's from? Or
definitely, I think so. It's definitely one that had Robin.
Okay. Because, yeah, I was like, I remember there being a Robin in it, and I just remember it being super... Because I think I've only seen it once.
And then a bunch of Nostalgia Critic.
Yes, and then a bunch of Nostalgia Critic is where I remember it from mostly. Alright, the wings are done on one side. And they look fine. Okay, let's do the other side now. Get a tiny bit of water on my brush. Oh, I can't wait for Halloween. Just remember that we saw at one of our local theaters that Beetlejuice is coming to it. And that's going to be really fun to go see.
Camera check soon.
Oh, okay, excellent. Actually, that's a good call. I'm going to go ahead and just turn it off right now while I finish up the other portion of this bat boot. And we'll bring it back on when I'm done. Actually, this works out really well in timing-wise because I also need to do the little strings and I need to bring that real close to my face, so... Perfecto. Okay, we look good there. Let's go ahead and do the little ribbons. Alright. Got that side. This side. I like how he has like actually just one side of this visible, so he's got one string holding his pants together instead of the normal two when they do this kind of crisscrossing. I guess maybe it's so that the vampires can rip their pants off a little easier and just like bite into thigh if they're so feeling inclined. Don't know what else it would be there for. Does Batman have no insurance on the Batmobile, or does he have it under a false name? I mean, I assume he has no insurance on the Batmobile because he just always gets it remade by...
It's proprietary engineering.
Yeah, it's proprietary engineering, so I don't know if there's, like, insurance on it specifically.
He probably writes it off as, like, a Lamborghini got, like, wrecked or something.
Yeah, maybe he has it, like, he probably... It's not so much that
it's insurance fraud, for sure.
Yeah, I bet he's committing some sort of insurance fraud, like Batman is, in regards to that, but I bet it's more done in the way of Bruce Wayne says that he has some sort of rare supercar, and he got another DUI, destroyed it, and he's getting insurance claim on that, but it's really just Batman destroying the Batmobile, because he's registered the Batmobile as a supercar under Bruce Wayne's name. And that's actually why Bruce doesn't drive him. I actually think he drives himself plenty of places. But, like, pretend he doesn't drive himself anywhere. That's the reason why. It's because he's constantly claiming all of the damaged Batmobiles as Bruce Wayne driving drunkenly, destroying, like, one-of-a-kind supercars that he just constantly replaces as the new Batmobile. That's my headcanon. I have no idea if there is actually a headcanon for that.
Or some comic touched on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say a headcanon, a canon for that, but like that's what I believe. Wow, I waited so long to talk and do all that my paint dried a little bit on my brush because I had such a small amount of it. I was like, I just need a little dab of this red to repaint that. There we go. Woot woot. Okay, beautiful. That feels good. We're gonna thin that out a smidge because I kind of want to retouch that, make it a little brighter, but I don't want it to go too crazy. Okay, there we go. So he's done there. Okay, so we need to do Nuln Oil now on all of the metallics. Did I do Nuln Oil on everybody else's metallics before? Yes, I did. Okay, just making sure. Some of them didn't look like it, but when I'm looking up close, it does. That's why your premiums are so high. Yes, exactly. Wait, are you saying you're Batman? Or are you saying Batman is using your name to register his cars and then therefore constantly wrecking the Batmobile and causing your premiums to go up? Okay, Nuln Oil. Here we go. Liquid Talent, go! I'm also putting it over top the black wings as well, just for unification a little bit on the helmet. Okay, yeah, it's looking real nice. Okay, so that's done. Now let's go ahead and get the rest of the metallic pieces. This here and the shoulder piece. There we go. You know what, the Bobbins? It's true. I've never seen you and Batman at the same time. I could believe it. Oh my God. Who would have thought that Batman would be in my chat? I do think I want to do some Lego streams. The matter is I just haven't bought, or not bought. I haven't finished getting the Lego room really set up to be able to facilitate that as well. We haven't, I need to get a new table to go into there since I actually have like a full Lego room. Wild. I need to put something in there so I can actually do work as well as like work on the city because I still want to do that. I still think that would be a really fun. It's just been a little bit on the back burner as I try to get back into the swing of painting things, especially since I have the event coming up for this particular team and I need to get them done. They gotta be done. I gotta impress Meg with my far inferior paint job to hers because hers are. I'm dreading what these Nurgle like dudes are gonna look like. They're gonna be so amazing. They're gonna probably be like so vibrant and colorful because they're Nurgle and you can play with more colors. Not that I'm saying that I'm disliking what I'm doing. I'm absolutely loving what I'm doing on these vampires. But I'm just like, I've seen Meg's work, okay? And she actually goes to competitions for painting and like does that kind of thing. I do not. And so I am just expecting beautiful, glorious, like the most immaculate Nurgle Blood Bowl team on the face of the planet. And it's going to be stunning. And I'm just going to be like crying over here in a corner. I mean, hell, I kind of feel that way about Chaos Cultist Orc team.
Huh? What?
That they're cool and really stunning looking, and I love them.
Your camera's still off.
Oh, shit.
They are not stunning compared to your team.
That's not true.
You are such a technically more skilled artist than me.
That is not true. You are just as technically skilled, you just go a lot faster than I do. And what you do with the speed at which you do it is just like blows my mind. For some reason, I painted his belt metallic already. Okay, that's all the metallic that we've got on him for right now. Okay, so that's you both done. You only have the little 2 pieces of metallic, Mr. Batman. Oh my god, we found a Batman right here because he's got a bat. I love his little good bat friend. Batman. I assume this is the man who also trained the bats that are holding the ball. Let me bring that up and... Think that looks good for you? Yeah, there's 2 little bats on this ball. It's very cute. It's a very adorable team. I agree. He shouldn't sell himself short. His painting does look amazing. Thank you, chat. more on the shoulder. To add a little bit of depth. There we go. And done. And last but not least, one more lad. And then we can start cleaning up their shirts. Also, hi, all 38 of you. Crazy. Alright. Since I'm just going full wash over everything on these particular ones, I'm just gonna kind of glob it on and spread it around. It's the best way to approach it, I find. Boop, boop, boop. Looks fantastic. Love it. Last but not least, the helmet. There we go. Nice. Okay, so we just need to let these washes dry for a moment. Shouldn't be too bad. Some of them are probably nearing dry already. And we can move on to the leathers. Which, speaking of, I know I had Dark Oath flesh on the table. Where did it go? Oh, it's Wildwood, Snakebite leather. There you are, Dark Oath flesh. My favorite leather tone. Does Blood Bowl teams have different positions? I've heard you say linemen. Sorry, the sports brain is wondering. Oh, absolutely, yes. There are a couple different positions for Blood Bowl. You've got...
It depends on the team.
It depends on the team, but generally these are the positions that the teams can be constructed of. Some of them do or do not have these all because it's dependent on, like, what team it is. Certain, like, races, for example, don't tend to have throwers, like the orcs. Like, orcs don't have throwers as far as I am.
Normal orcs, black orcs don't.
Okay, so black orcs don't have throwers, but normal orcs do, for example. So there are some variations, but in regards to the positions that you have, so you've got linemen, of course, which are basic. You then are going to have throwers, runners, and which are, you know, pretty self-explanatory. You also can have blitzers, which is not really equivalent to a specific position in, I think, football.
Linebacker.
I guess they're closest to the linebacker. Because basically what the blitzer...
Their job is to charge and hit.
Yeah, exactly. Their job is to run forward and then be able to also punch you, which normally, like, you can't do both of those things in the game, like, on your turn. You could do, like, one or the other, for example. So they have that benefit to them. And but they only get to do that, like, a certain number of times during the game. Then on top of that, you'll have other, like, unique units that I don't think have a universal, like, name within Blood Bowl. They just get their own, like...
Biggins!
Like, for example, the Troll, I don't think has, like, a specific name. Like, I don't think... like, Blocker, maybe? But I don't even think it's that. He's just, like, your big guy.
Center.
Yeah, he's just your center, but, like, he's just called a Troll. And I have a unit that's similar to the Troll that's also my big, strong, tough guy called the Vargeist. So it's not, like, it's unique to the team. But Blitzer, Lineman, Thrower, and Runner are all, like, 4 of the... You will find this in most team layouts. They'll just be, like, various types of creatures represented there. But, like, a lot of times the linemen are your basic troops. and then you get the more advanced guys. All of Blood Bowl players turn into murderers, and all of Blood Bowl watchers turn into murderers, because if you kick any Blood Bowl team or player off of the field, which is a thing you can do in game, and they end up in the crowd will be rolled on, and you can injure that player and possibly kill them by throwing them into the crowd. It's actually, when you're playing the video game version, it's so mean, and it is a great way. I mean, really, in the tabletop version, it's also a great way to just absolutely destroy your opponent's team, but the crowd is devastating. So everybody in Blood Bowl is murderous. They all want blood, hence why it's called Blood Bowl. Yeah. Everybody's just embracing their inner corn worshiper and demanding blood for the blood god. Why Corn isn't the, like, patron god of Blood Bowl, I don't know, but he's not. Leathers! That's what we're on. First, though, we probably need to clean up some leather sections. Yeah, we will. Okay. Fine. Thrower, catcher, blocker, blitzer. Oh, so, okay, there are blockers. Okay, thank you, Wayne. I forgot about the blockers, and honestly, I forgot about... Catcher. Yes.
It's also similar to runner.
Yes. Maybe runner is not what... Maybe that's not what the... I think that's what I meant. I think when I said runner, I think I meant to say catcher.
It can be similar.
Can it be both? Actually, do I? Let me look at mine.
Well, it depends. Like...
No, because I have a vampire runner, so there are two different ones. So, like, I guess, so liner, runner, thrower, blitzer, blocker, and catcher. Those are the core basics. And then star player is also technically, like, a subclass that is very common to see in a lot of teams, depending on, like, how you're playing it. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, no, I agree. Blood Bowl is definitely not a game to take your granny or to your 5-year-old. Well, it's apparently also a vampire thing. Because my vampire team... Here's their stats. I don't know if that's reading at all.
Nope, other way. Keep going. Too far. There-ish, I think.
Okay. So, like, if you look at the stats, like, there is a vampire runner there. And he's got a 2+ agility. Like, look how many of my guys have 2+ agility. The blitzer, the thrower, and the runner. It's great.
Yeah, and all of them have a chance to end your turn.
I know. How dare they? But yeah, not bad stats, honestly. Pretty happy with it. It makes sense that it's a Skaven and Dark Elf thing. Honestly, I see it being a vampire thing, too. Like, vampires are notoriously, like, in their own fiction, extremely speedy, because they either turn into mist and just away, or they literally have super speed and just, like, can move instantaneously. Which I dig. They are, in fact, the best creatures of the night. Wow, that is a cat hair all up in my paint. How dare my cats? Rude of them. So very rude to shed and be fluffy. It's not true. They are delightful, and we love them. This leather on the back. And touch up. Okay. Cool. Let's scoot him off. We'll come back to him. We're just gonna basically like do a two times loop. Because they'll all probably need like 2 coats of touch up. between the black and the red. They're both very strong, very saturated colors and don't blot out as super easily. That's fine. It's cool. Be patient. It's gonna be really fun to play the game again, I think. Despite my nerves surrounding it. Is this part of the armor, or is that part of his shirt? I think that's part of his shirt. Alright, and you don't have a chin strap. So we won't care so much about that. And there we go. Okay, that looks good. We need to do a little bit more. Is that worth trying to touch up? Yep, I decided to go for it. That really doesn't matter if I touch it up. It's just gonna be metallic afterwards anyways. Oh my gosh, Angela, what are you doing? Wasting time is what you're doing. Stop it. Have I heard of Mutant Football League? You know, that does vaguely sound familiar. Hello, Red Panda! Welcome! Yeah, we're getting ready for the pitch. I'm very excited about it. They're coming together quite swimmingly. We're doing a little bit of touch-up on the leathers right now before we paint those and then move on to their shirts. I'm excited to see what you sent on Tuesday. I'll be going to pick up the package with all the Blood Bowl.
Because you forgot about Labor Day.
Because I forgot about Labor Day, which you reminded me about. Thank you for that, Red Panda. I was like, oh yeah, I got a bunch of things I need to pick up over at the P.O. box. I'm gonna go do that on Monday. And I'll be getting your package at that point. And he was like, don't you mean Tuesday? Because, you know, it's like a holiday. And I was like, oh, right. Dang it. It is a holiday, isn't it? Wah, wah. This is what happens when I don't work a normal job and I don't have to, like, pay attention to bank holidays, really, as much as I used to. Although it always, like, because it's Labor Day coming up, right? That's the one it is. Pretty sure. It bothers me that the people who labor don't get Labor Day off. I guess people would freak out because they'd be like, nothing's open! Ah! It just seems rude to everybody, like, who works at a big box store, especially. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Yeah, it's always been, like, so weird. Like, I'm like, but it's called Labor Day. Shouldn't, like, I always thought that, like, Labor Day was specifically, like, in my youth, I thought Labor Day was specifically supposed to be the day...
I labored very hard in that video game studio office, and I deserved that day off, while you, I think, had truck or something.
Okay, you're right. You're absolutely... You definitely deserve that day off. No, it always bothered me, because I always thought, I was like, shouldn't this day be a day for retail workers? Like, of all the people who labor, like, and you're not, like, doing, like... I figured it was, like, anybody who did any form of physical labor, whether it be on your feet all day, so retail workers, or, like, construction workers, or, like, factory workers, anybody that was laboring in a, like, physical kind of manner, I assumed was supposed to have the day off, and that's never seemed to be how it worked. You know, I do think I'm certain that there probably are some US TV stations that do cover the English Premier Leagues for football, or football, but I don't have normal television. I only have YouTube and streaming services, so I could not tell you which ones they were or like how good they are. But I'm certain, I know like cricket and those kinds of sports get covered on like hell, I think Disney Plus and like because or
in their jurisdictions.
Like in their jurisdictions because like isn't ESPN a Disney owned product?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so like I think ESPN probably covers it because I feel like ESPN covers most major sports, and I think football or soccer would qualify as that. But I don't know like if there's as specific. Okay, yes, Red Panda is saying that ESPN does a Premier League on one of their channels. So yes, they do cover it in the US, which I was like, it would be really weird to me if they didn't. Like that feels like such a thing that I think would be covered, but I am not the person to ask, as the only sports that I follow to any degree is pro wrestling. And most people wouldn't actually consider that a sport in at least the competitive sort of way because it is, you know, predetermined. Not the actual actions necessarily. Not the choreography that actually occurs in the matches, but like the winner. Fox Sports and CBS also do. Okay, so there you go. Thank you for subscribing, Kono Dio Da. What a lovely name. Yeah, it's probably, that makes sense. It's probably not as much money as broadcasting American sports because like, I mean, like Americans are really obsessed with football. Like really obsessed with football. Like to the point where they just kind of ignore sometimes other sports. Unless it's like baseball, because that's also very American. Even though I actually associate, like, okay, in my head, football is American. Like, American football is American. Soccer is like Europe, Latin America, and I think they actually play a lot of it in Africa as well, don't they? And then, I actually think baseball in my head is Japan. Like, I know it didn't originate there. I know that, like, they adopted it and
also
everything.
Very Latin America.
Is it also very Latin America? Okay, I didn't know that. That makes sense to me, actually, as well. I could see that. Like, I could see baseball being, like, huge in Latin America. Like, climate-wise, it would totally fit. And space-wise, it would totally fit, like, super easily, I can imagine. But yeah, like like baseball in my head is very Japanese, which is so funny because I've been to American baseball games. But like, it's so like, I just know Japan really is into baseball. It's really what it is. The holy trinity of American sports: baseball, basketball, and American football. Yep. Yeah, basketball is our other big one here in the States. We do love some basketball. And actually, I don't know, like, is basketball big anywhere else? Like, are there any other countries that are, like, super into basketball? Because, like, obviously baseball is popular other places. Soccer is popular other places. I think variations of football are played other places, but I still know that's a very American one. Okay, we need to do a little bit of cleanup on the belts. Oops, oh my god, immediately spilling paint where I don't want it. Great job, Angela. Smooth. You're a true professional. Wait, basketball is the second biggest sport in the world to soccer? Really? I had no idea.
I mean, there's a lot of media around it.
I suppose there is, and it's indoor, so like realistically, any country could build a basketball like court in.
It's cheaper to maintain.
And yeah, it's like it's smaller, cheaper to maintain. So yeah, I guess I can see that. I just genuinely really associated basketball with America, and so I didn't realize it was huge other places. That's so cool. Talk about like, I mean, I don't have normal television, and I never really paid attention to sports growing up because I just didn't. I was never really big into it. But like, I have never really heard of like basketball gameplay outside of, I guess, the Olympics in other countries.
Harlem Beat.
Wait, I thought Harlem Beat was in the States.
It's Japan.
Oh.
It's a manga, dear.
Oh, you're right. Well, but that's because, like...
Hey, you just never heard of it. So.
No, you're sorry, you're right. Harlem Beat was a manga in Japan based around basketball. I guess you're right. I think I just kind of assumed that was because, like, sports anime were really big, and I think it came out, like, in the boom, and so I kind of just assumed it was, like, built on that. I didn't realize it was actually, like, super popular. North Korea is into basketball for some weird reason. Interesting.
I remember everything with Rodman.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's why. Maybe because the family was, like, really... Because didn't they invite him?
Oh, yeah, he's still friends with them.
So maybe that's why. Maybe they're just really big fans of Rodman. And so they just are really into it. Weird. Baseball in the UK is known as rounders, but on a small scale. Okay. Hockey's really big too. I mean, I guess I can see that. Just
depends on the part of the world. Russia loves hockey.
Oh.
And so most of the former Soviet states do too.
Okay. High-end rum should not have cola, and I agree. I don't think you should probably put high-end rum into a rum and coke necessarily. Is that what you did? Were you silly and did that, and now you're regretting it? Whoopsies. Okay, I think all of our straps are cleaned up. Okay, on him, so we can put him aside. I believe both of you are done, right? Nope. It's you and... Is it red pants? I think it might be red pants. Yeah. Okay, yes. So it's Bat Boy and red pants that are done. These two still need to be cleaned up. Let's keep going. I'm not sure I believe you, Wayne. I'm not sure you should put rum into your paint to improve the flow. I'm not sure it actually functions as a true flow aid in that regard. It might help, like... No, I disagree. It's got alcohol in it. You shouldn't mix that with your acrylic water-based paints. I think that might just cause them to separate. Oh, frack, I am not done at all with these guys. You know what I completely skipped over that definitely has to be leather, everybody? Their boots. And I haven't cleaned up their boots at all, so let's go back to that. Holy moly. I would have gotten to these and I would have been like, oh my god, Angela, you dumbass. So I'm glad I remembered now, before we were actually finished. Look at us using our brain. How rare. Okay, let's see. Kind of going gentle because it's a little bit of a weird curve on the inside of this boot here, and I don't want to get any on the pants. If I can avoid it. There we go. We should have a good foundation now to work with. Touch that up a bit more. After that's dried. Is that a little bit better? I think it was a little uncrisp for you. I think I just crisped it.
That looks pretty good.
Okay, I think it had slightly, like, I don't think I slightly focused it all the way because my background was a little blurrier than I felt like it should have, so I just adjusted it. Thank you. Dang, that's cool. I've only been to one basketball game live, and I don't watch it on TV very often. But I did see a Lakers game back when they were really big. I don't know if they're, like, not to say that they are, I don't know how they're doing currently in the league, but I remember, like, is it the Lakers?
Was it Los Angeles?
I think it was versus, like, a Utah team.
Could be.
Because I was in Utah at the time.
Ah.
And I'm trying now to...
That would explain how you got tickets.
Yeah, because it was definitely not in LA. But I feel... What was the name of that team? I don't remember. But I've only been to one game. It was in Utah. And it involved the Utah sports team for the NBA. Which I don't remember now what their name is, but I think it was versus the Lakers. I don't remember how we got tickets specifically. Like, I think we won them.
In combat?
Yes, definitely in combat. No, like, through the radio, I think. I think it was one of those, like, things where it was either, like, we randomly won them on, like, one of those radio call-in things where you can, like, win sports tickets for that. The Jazz. Yes, thank you. Yes, it was the Jazz. I think it was the Jazz versus the Lakers. Or something like that. But regardless, it was wild. It was really, like, the crowd was full. I remember there being a lot of yellow and blue, which I think is why I'm thinking maybe it was against the Lakers, because isn't that the Lakers' colors was yellow and blue? Or am I thinking...
Yellow and purple.
Yellow and purple. Okay, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong team then. Jazz tickets are easy enough to come by. Yeah, I don't remember who it was specifically. I know the Jazz were playing, but then I also know there was another team, and I feel like it was definitely a West Coast team. Regardless, I think we won them via the radio, and if not that, I think my dad may have won them for, like, the base was doing some sort of, like, drawing at the most recent, because my dad was military, so we were, like, I think his job may have had, like, a raffle. And tickets to the show was, like, one of the raffle tickets, and he may have won that or something like that. But regardless... Oh, maybe it was just the Jazz then. Okay, so maybe because if they're yellow and blue, that's what I remember there being a lot of. So maybe it was just, like, the Jazz versus somebody else. But I feel like it was a well-known team from the West Coast. But I could also just be... I don't know. It was like... How old was I? Like 7. So I don't fucking remember. I just remember colors and a basketball court and people screaming. That's what I remember. And the colors were mostly blue and yellow, but that's probably because it was a lot of local, jazz fans. I don't remember. Like, I genuinely don't remember. Okay, I was in high school between then and then. So I think it would have been in, like, the late 90s, early aughts. It would have been in the 90s. Yeah, it would have been in the 90s. Because... 9/11 happened in 2001?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, it definitely would have been in the 90s because I know where I was at that point in school. And it was before then, so I must have still been in elementary school, I think. The jazz fans have always been kind of loud and crazy. Well, you know what? That sounds right in my head for what my memory was. Because they were insane. Oh, they moved from New Orleans? That's kind of cool. I didn't know that. That makes sense for the name Jazz. I always thought that was weird for Utah. I was like, why is this their name? But if they were originally a New Orleans team, that makes way more sense. They just went Mardi Gras, huh? Although I guess it doesn't really make... I mean, I guess, is jazz big in New Orleans? I guess it's
yes.
big in... Is it? Okay. I was double guessing myself because I was like, wait, no, Chicago has a lot of the jazz scene. But they both did. Okay. Got it.
Might need the camera rest again soon.
Oh, good call. I'll go ahead and pop that off. We're just doing some cleanup right now, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so maybe it was the Lakers. It could have been the Bulls, too, actually, now that you say that.
Bulls are red and white.
Yeah, the Bulls are red and white, though. I don't remember red and white being at the stadium as much. I don't know. It's really not that big of a deal. The point is that's the only basketball game I've ever been to. I'm definitely one of those people who is like, okay, I don't really like to watch sports on TV much, but I am totally fine with going to a live sporting event because I just find it that much more engaging. There is something inherently, and this is the same thing I feel for also pro wrestling, although I find pro wrestling easier to watch on television because of the, especially modernly with what they're doing with their cinematography and actual like camera direction being good and not the same thing that we've been seeing since like the 90s or the 80s. All right, but that being aside, like sporting events on television, I've never super gotten into. But live sports, definitely very, very cool. Although live wrestling is also extremely cool. There's just such a different vibe to it. Hello, Diggs. Welcome back. Hello, Fnord Kios. Hopefully I said that. I'm going to call you Nord if that's okay. Or Fnord? I don't know if the F is pronounced or if it's silent. You tell me. Well, that's kind of cool. I mean, if that's your thing, if that's like what you want to... If that's how you want to entertain yourself, then that's awesome, man. Don't be ashamed of it. It's like me being ashamed of how many unpainted miniatures I own.
Gotta make that video.
We do need to make a pile of shame video. A pile of what's the uplifting way?
Opportunity.
Of opportunity. My pile of opportunity. My pile. Here's my collection of unpainted things. That's really what it is. I'm a collector. Here's my hoard. Rar, I'm a dragon. I have never listened to the band Kiss, actually. There's no wrong way today to say it. Okay, well good. I'm glad that there's no wrong way to say it then. You've been a Blood Bowl fan for 29 years? What's your favorite team? Who's your favorite team to run? Who is your least favorite team to go up against? I'm currently obviously working, if it's not obvious. Oh, it's probably not obvious because my camera's not on. I forgot I turned it off to let it take a little bit of a break. I'm working on vampires right now, the new vampire team. But tell me, what is your favorite Blood Bowl team? Okay, we've got that. We've cleaned up that. Oh, the boots. That's what I was working on. I was like, what am I working on? On cleaning up on this guy. Am I done? Nope. No, I am not. Alright, so that's good. We need to flip him so that we can get the inside of this side of the boot. Oh god, be careful. Okay, keep a really steady hand, Angela. Don't jerk wildly. Please. Okay, that's looking decent. It will need a little bit of an additional touch-up, but it'll be fine. There we go. Yeah, no, I turned it off briefly, 3D Wargaming, because of the way that we have our setup working right now. It's going into my Elgato, and for some reason, the Elgato doesn't read it as being on if it's just looking at, like, a single space for a really long period of time. So after, like, every...
What she's actually meaning is that we're currently using a photo camera as a webcam, and it has a built-in safety feature where every 30 minutes it will turn off so the sensor doesn't overheat. And so she had to turn it off for a while.
Yes, that's exactly what I was trying to explain. So if it goes off and I leave it off for a moment, that's the only reason why it's doing that. It's just because I'm trying to reset it, because otherwise it'll turn itself off because it starts to get overheated. You can't stand playing against fast teams like Wood Elves. Oh, you probably won't like playing against my team then, because my vampires are quite speedy. A lot of my slowest guy has a movement score of 5, and everybody else is a 6 or 8. So they are quite speedy and they are quite agile, so they can throw and hopefully catch.
Cheater.
Skaven bites, the Skaven Scramblers? Yay! I love the Skaven teams. They're so fun. Oh, well, but those are fast boys, so you don't like playing against them, though. You'll get to the painting in no time, Alex. Don't worry. Oh, no, you do like the Skaven. Okay, cool. Well, wait. I thought Skaven are fast, then. Aren't Skaven kind of a speedy team themselves? So you just don't like versing other speedy teams because it ends up probably countering a little bit of your own speed because they're able to keep up with you. I can see that.
Ready to project.
What?
Nothing.
What do you mean? Are you saying I'm projecting because I also run a speedy team?
Yes.
See, I'm a little afraid of being caught by the slow teams.
Yep.
Like, I am actually legitimately terrified of being caught by the slow teams. I could see that, because I don't know how, like, I bet the Skaven are a little glass cannon-y, where they can kind of punch hard when they actually get their punches off, and they're fast, but they probably get punted themselves pretty easily, don't they? Because they're probably... I imagine their toughness is not that high. Like, their armor value probably isn't that high. Thank you for subscribing, Ross Watley. Lovely to have you here. What color scheme did you do your Skaven up in? I have a Skaven team, and I've painted half of it, and I definitely went with, unintentionally, the Packers colors, because I went with a green and yellow because I wanted them to be cheesy, but I like green as a complement to the cheese color tone. And that just ended up looking like the Packers, I realized. But not intentional. It just ended up being how it worked out. I feel like oranges and purples could be a really good Skaven team color. Yeah, you don't try to block anyone. I believe it. Yeah, your Skaven probably are very, very fragile. Oh, is that what you play, Red Pandas? You play dwarves. Alright, alright. I can see that. Slow, steady. Are dwarves good at throwing? Are they a passing team because they're slow? Like, how are they meant to get the ball to the other end because of how, like... Because don't they have, like, a movement score of 4? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, I thought so. Packers and cheese do go together well. Absolutely. You copied the box art? Sick. Nice. That's what I'm doing for my vampires. As I'm going with the classic, like, Dracula red box art design. So nothing against that. That's sick. Dwarves play the long game, hold the ball, and kick the crap out of the enemy team. I mean, that makes sense. So they just like slowly march it forward then, huh? They don't even throw it. Interesting. I guess that makes sense because like elves are a very throwy team, and therefore, and I would think that the dwarves would definitely be opposite of that. So I guess I can see it. I just really hadn't considered how they might get it down. But yeah, if they just basically outlast you, punch you down. That does seem like a very dwarven thing to do. And then they take a grudge when you punch them back. Write it in the book. Is the book part of Blood Bowl, by the way? Do they use the Book of Grudges in that, or is that just a fantasy battles?
Sure, in the lore they might.
I would feel like they would, right? Like it feels appropriate. They can sprint over short distances. Okay, I can see that. You tend to run the ball with your dwarves and hand are hardy enough to take a beating. You know, that does make sense. I get it. That I can totally see that with the dwarven team. Actually, no. I think it's the Dungeon Bowl dwarf team.
Yep.
Is what I have. I don't know if I have I have one character that I've painted that I'm pretty sure is from the Blood Bowl side of it. But I don't know if I have the full team or if that was like a random one-off mini that I found or was gifted or something. They just stand in a line together, hook their arms, well, their little muscly arms and their stout legs, and they just run down the line, one of them holding the ball. That's how I imagine dwarves doing it as well. You kept your own Book of Grudges when you were playing? Oh, that's so good. That's so, like, that is one of the reasons, like, Blood Bowl opens itself up in easier ways, I think, than even, like, 40k and Age of Sigmar to write up your own personalized battle reports based off of what happened and do these really thematic fun things. It's one of the reasons that I like the game so much, because I see often people will literally write up play-by-plays and as if they're like doing sports announcing coverage of their game, post the game happening, and it's so good. And I wish GW on like Warhammer Plus or something like that would have a show, like a podcast style thing, that was just Bob and Jim, like, going over fan-submitted Blood Bowl League play. Like, that actually, I think, would be so cool. Like,
not a big enough community.
I know it's not a big enough community, but, like, I think that would be a really interesting, fun way for them to attempt to grow the community and potentially bring more people in if they added that level of community connectivity, I think, where people could do that kind of thing. But imagine, because like it realistically, in theory, shouldn't be that hard, because you can treat it like you can VTuber it almost. I mean, hell, you don't even have to VTuber it. You could just have basic animation of Jim and Bob back and forthing. Hell, use the same rigs that they use in the Blood Bowl games and do it that way, and just hire the voice actors to read the play-by-plays, and it would just, I don't know, I think it could be really fun. Exactly. That's one of the reasons I like it too, because yes, you can cheat, you can foul people intentionally and do these kinds of fun things and be cheeky, and it's not as big of a deal. Like, I know some people don't like Blood Bowl because of how freakishly volatile it is, because you're rolling way fewer dice, and so there's just this very high likelihood for your plans to be absolutely smacked out of the air and put into the ground because Nuffle said no, and made you roll double ones or something like that, and you only had the 2 dice to do it on in the first place. But like, it just creates such interesting stories because it is a sports game rather than being a war game, and so they don't have to take it as seriously, and they already build their goof and their like humor into their models in ways that they never allow themselves to really do with their 2 core lines. Havman, thank you so much for the $5 donation. You say you and CC are the best. Never did I think you'd have a sports discussion on your channel. Feel free to ask you any sports questions anytime. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. We absolutely will. Exactly. You can fail your first roll as a turnover, and it can be hilarious. If Nuffle isn't with you, then you're not trying hard enough. You just haven't prayed hard enough. You haven't performed the proper rituals, made the correct sacrifices. Perhaps you just need to chuck those dice that you were using away and use a different set, because Nuffle has not blessed them. Nuffle's great, and he should be involved in all of the Games Workshop games far more heavily, as he is the god of chance. Actually, I don't actually know. Is he, like, is his lore, is he actually a deity, or is he just like a...
He's the chaos god of chance.
Okay, he is the chaos, so he is in fact a chaos god. Okay,
well, he's a lesser one.
Well, yes, but he is recognized in, like, the fantasy realm as an actual, like, existing god. Like, the people...
Yeah.
You said that in a way that I'm not sure you actually agree.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for subscribing, Michael Sundborg. The Lord of Dice. He is, in fact, the Lord of Dice. Okay, so he's not a god in the context of the actual in-game universe. He's a god in the context of the game universe.
Yes.
That makes sense. Okay, well, I think his boots are now done. Now he's actually ready for paint. Oh my god, Jack! Are you a meower? Oh, I see. Father, I must demand attention, for I am fluffy and cute. And I see that you're playing Total War. Why didn't you tell me? I am your general. Oh, shoulder cat. He's become a shoulder cat, everybody. Rejoice. He is settled and made his home. What? Is it the nuzzling?
Yeah.
I know, it's so cute. God.
This cat slept on me all night.
He did. He's so needy. You did this to him.
Mm-hmm.
At least he doesn't deny it. Oh yeah, people totally have superstitions when playing Blood Bowl and Warhammer. Really, people have superstitions playing any game, I think. But especially a war game. Especially a dice game. But yes, Nuffle is born of those superstitions. And I think Games Workshop like embraced it and gave him like an appearance, if I recall. Like, I think he has official art. I mean, hell, he might be in the book. He might be in the rule book. His art. Oh, yeah, it definitely does. It definitely is a game that exists outside of Games Workshop's other franchises. Like, they originally, like, when it started, from my understanding, it really did tie into, you know, fantasy battles a little bit more, because it was supposed to be the, you know, various races deciding, okay, we're going to set aside all of our differences, and we're going to come in together to be, you know, have a... honestly, it kind of felt almost like it was designed to be their, like, Olympics, essentially, of let's get everybody together, despite, you know, our necessarily disliking of each other or our conflicts in the past, and we're just gonna have a friendly game of sports to see who's better than the other. And of course they like make that really goofy, and a murder ends up happening because it's fantasy. It's literally a combat sport. They call it that on the box. Oh my goodness, are you giving that boy kisses? Lots of little fluffy kisses. He looks so happy. He's just like, yes, this is the attention I wanted. Yeah, exactly. Nuffle doesn't like war. He just likes violent sports. He just wants to see people get... Nuffle's that guy that just really likes to see people get hurt. He doesn't want to see them... I mean, if they die, that's funny too. But, like, he really just wants to see them get maimed. So that he can roll around on the floor laughing. In pure chaotic delight. Thank you for subscribing, Wub Wub Dubstep Wub Wub. Wub, 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 wub. Love it. Well, I mean, you're familiar with sports, so it makes more sense to you. That doesn't surprise me at all. Also, weirdly enough, Blood Bowl, because of the Blitz Bowl game in like Barnes & Noble, and I think sold also at Targets and stuff, I think weirdly actually does get known sometimes by people even before 40K, because like 40K and Age of Sigmar especially are kind of only sold in game stores or Games Workshop specific stores. And while there are some branding that definitely brings more attention to the 40K side of the game because of stuff like the Space Marine games, etc. And I don't mean the Space Marine games as in the digital video games. I mean like Space Marine Heroes, that line of combat games that they did, like those board games. But Blitz Bowl has been in stores for even like longer than that, and so I do actually think it kind of randomly gets known sometimes. Like it's sometimes people's intro over other things. There we go. Okay, I didn't actually know that. So, Red Panda says, Nuffle's backstory from Fantasy Battles will always be one of my favorites. The old ones and the Slan bring you into the world to settle strife and conflicts, and you end up with the Blood Bowl patron deity. That's great. That is fantastic. I didn't realize he was a product of the Slan. That makes complete sense. The Slan, I feel like, are kind of the result of a lot of things.
Or the cause of
the cause of a lot of things, not the result. They result in a lot of things, is what I meant to say. But yes. Although I guess they also kind of do a lot in 40K, don't they? Because they created the orcs.
They're the old ones.
Yeah, because they're the old ones. Ancient lizard people. Dun, 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 dun. So are the lizard men, like, in lore, are they just a spoof on people's belief of lizard people?
Kind of. They're space lizards.
Okay. Well, because that's, like, what a lot of people, like, because don't a lot of people believe, like, the lizard people live underground, but they, like, came from space or something like that?
There's different kinds, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
Oh my god, this kitty.
Is he still snugging you?
You not see him?
Oh my goodness. Jack-a-lack.
I think he farted.
Oh, that's good. Well, he's happy. He does that when he's happy, so. He's glad that you're loving him.
It might have also been because I squeezed him.
Oh, well, that I could believe that too. You squeezed a fart out of him?
Uh-huh.
My goodness. Don't squeeze the cat so much like that, then, please. What if he poops?
That would be terrible. Listen, all life carries risk.
The Slan Blood Bowl chant is the best. You think you're smart, you think you're whiz. Just remember whose planet this is. Okay, if that is legitimately their chant, that is hilarious, and I do agree that is wonderful. Do all of the teams have a chant? I did not.
I'm sure they do.
Oh, holy shit! I need to look up what my vampires one was.
Probably in the tome, because you would have had a magazine about your army that came out.
Yes, I don't think I have that though. Honestly, I need to get it.
Yes.
Yours are in. We don't have to worry about yours.
No, mine are in the core book.
Okay, that's what I thought.
They're online too, of course.
Of course.
Someone's copied it.
Oh, I'm certain. Okay, boots are feeling good. We need to do a tiny bit more touch up on just like the rims mostly, or the edges. All of these little spiky bits, curse them! There. Oh, did he leave you finally? Oh, hello, Jack. Hi. Are you down there hanging out? Meow? Meow? You want to come up and say hi? You want to say hi to chat? Hmm? Oh, they are very, very happy kitties. Hey, come here. Come here, little fluff boy. Hi. Yeah.
Aww.
Aww.
I'm camera shy.
You're camera shy? Oh, okay. Purring.
Nuzzle his ear.
Mom, I don't like you.
Oh.
Okay, no, he leaned into it. There we go. He's like, why am I here? Why am I being used for... See, they like seeing you. See, they're saying, hello, beautiful, magnificent, fluffy boy. Hello, Jack. Hello, everybody. Thank you for saying hello to me. I really appreciate it. You're all wonderful. The Dark Side Cowboys was, have you thought how bad luck always comes in threes? First your face, then your arms, whoops, there goes your knees. That's great. Oh, that is so good. This is why Blood Bowl is such a fantastic game, because they absolutely do not take themselves too seriously, and they're just like, let's have some fun with this and be campy and dumb and hilarious. He really does not want to stay here. He keeps wanting to jump down, and or he's slipping on my lap, one or the other. You just want food, don't you? That's why you're up here. You're up here to be like, hello, I am hungry, even though I ate literally before the stream started. But that's not enough for me. What are you doing? What are you doing? You don't want to be held that way? Okay. All right, there you go. There you go. Gosh, you are shedding everywhere. Oh, you know why they're shedding so much more right now? Because of the heat.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Jack, I need to paint. Don't get on the table. You are a very good helper, you're a very good gamer, but you're not a very good painter. Okay? You kind of get your fluff in all the paint, and we can't have that. Wait, their cheerleaders have won 13 games on their own? I'm not sure I believe you, Wayne Lamb. Are you leaving? Okay, good. Goodbye, Jack. Take your fluff with you. I say as it's stuck to my arms and face. And also, mussed up my glasses. Where is this? Well, I'll just use my dress. Oh no! I hope the crisis is okay. Take care of everything. Good luck, Diggs. Jack can get all the fluff in the paint he wants. I would appreciate, actually, if he didn't. Tactile Sun. I think I would not like to clean paint out of his fur. Because if he's getting his paint or fur into the paint, that means like it's probably also on his body and he's rubbing his face into things. And I don't want to have to clean acrylic paint off my cat. I guess I could make it into a reel. But I'd prefer to not have to. He's now being a sentinel by the door. He's guarding us. Making sure no one comes in and gets us. Alright, okay. We do need to touch up a smidge more on the front side here. There we go. And also on the other side. Okay. And then I think we are good here now. Finally, we can move on to the other two. Okay, we have more. We're just gonna start with the boots, get those cleaned up, and work our way upwards on the model. I think that is a good way to approach it and make sure we don't accidentally skip things again. Oh, yeah, no, it's his shedding fur, too. I mean, it's both, technically, but he was rubbing his face on the corner, and it was right by my palette, and he has definitely done that on my, like, when I'm not using this kind of palette, and I'm using the paper palettes that I normally have, I just can't find that one right now, he will sometimes, like, if he does get into my lap, or I put him there because he's being, you know, attention hungry, he will just put his face almost in my paint. It has happened on a couple of occasions. Thankfully, it's mostly been when I've had contrast paint on there, and so, like, realistically, it wouldn't have been the worst or hardest thing to get out of his fur, because it's just more fluid anyways, but it was one of those things of like, oh, no, don't do that, Jack. Don't put your face in that. That's not a place for you to nuzzle. Oh my gosh, do you have a rescue that has a missing eye and a couple of facial scars? Oh, the poor kitty. I assume he must have, like, gotten into a fight with, like an alley cat type fight. Oh, that's so sad. Well, at least you were able to rescue him. Aww. And he does it. So did you name him after, like, a space marine or something like that? Like, when you rescued him? Or what did you end up naming this beautiful, scarred little kitty? He sounds so sweet. Alright, cleanup is going well on these boots. Maximus? Great, what a lovely name. That's so adorable. Oh, that sounds so precious. Yeah, ours were rescues too, but we got them when they were very young, and so they definitely didn't, like, really experience too much of a tough life outside of immediately ending up in the Humane Society, I think, after they were born. Alright, we got the boots almost taken care of. There's just a little bit more to tidy up, but not too much. A little bit on this side. It's pretty good though. I am pleased. There we go. Smidge of cleanup right there on that underswoop on the wing. Good. The reason I'm being kind of particular about the cleanup here, I should turn this back on, is so that the leather color tone that I'm using, Dark Oath Flesh, is a little bit of a more transparent color tone and tends to take sometimes 2 coats to really get the saturation that you're looking for, because it's very, very transparent. And it can show through it some colors that you may not want. May I have a draw of that? Thank you, dear.
Keep it upright.
Okay. Alrighty, let's get this back on. And there we go. Now it should be good. Sorry about missing that. Actually, don't know. How long have we been going? Also, it's really cool that there's been like over 20 of you hanging out this entire time. Oh, 320. Okay. Nice. Alright, well, I want to get this cleanup done and the leathers done on them before we even think about concluding for the day. Okay, we're good there. Let's get a little bit touch up there. Oh, you named him Garo? Oh my gosh. How appropriate. Especially if he is that loyal and attached. Aww. That's so cute. I think I've seen pictures of Garo. Have you posted pictures of him on your Instagram? I feel like I've maybe seen pictures of him. That's so adorable. I didn't know that was his name. Love it. Yeah, Jack is technically named after Jack Harkness from Torchwood.
Doctor Who.
In Doctor Who. But I just call him Jack Attack. Or Jack-a-lack. Okay, I think I thought so. I was like, I'm pretty sure I've seen your cats. Oh, what are the other ones' names? I don't know if I know the other ones. So Garo, and then what are the other two? Because don't you said you had 3, right? Oh wait, would that be 4 then? If you've got, dude, have I missed that there are 4 of them? Dang. Or they're 3. Oh, Kita? She's named after the princess in Atlantis. If you've ever seen Disney's Atlantis City of the Lost, the lead princess in that, who is the Atlantean princess, her name is like, I actually don't remember how to pronounce her full name, which is why I only ever call Kita. But it's like Kita Lashol or something like that. Like, it's some long name, but they just say Kita for short, and that's where I named her. We have 4, so there's Garo, Gideon, Gizmo, and Lenny. So you went with all G's until you got to Lenny. Is there a reason Lenny doesn't also have a G name? Because I feel like you guys were going with a theme. Also, Gizmo is an adorable... Gideon's also a great name, but Gizmo for a cat, what an adorable name. That is super cute. I think, am I good in this cleanup? Does this guy not need... Oh, no. Here. I was like, wait a minute. What is going on? This guy should definitely need a little bit more cleanup. And yes, on the back. There we go. Lenny was his shelter name and you thought it was funny or fun, so you kept it. You know what? That's totally works for me. He's also the only one who's not a tabby. Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, no, it's from she's a Disney princess, because I'm a total Disney. Well, I used to be. I'm not. I will admit, Disney has made me a little upset recently. But it's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, I did end up getting some silver on here, and I tried to clean it up, but it didn't fully go, so we're going to have to touch that up. Just going to do that now. Don't worry, it should blend in fine. Don't think we'll have to worry too much about it. And if we do, we'll just repaint the whole thing. Okay, he's good. One more to clean up. I got paint on my brush and then immediately accidentally washed almost all of it off of my brush by dipping it slightly in water because of how little paint I actually got on there. It's like, okay, well, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work, Angela. You're gonna have to do better than that. Sounds like I'm in combat with myself. You're gonna have to do better than that, chump. I'm sorry. Let me. You're gonna have to do better than that, bub. Okay, well, you made it better by making it Wolverine. I totally over cleaned that up. Hold on. Let's get a small brush so we have a little bit more control. And we can...
Jack, don't eat that.
Jack, what are you eating? Hey. What are you eating? No. I think you already got it. Don't eat fuzz. Don't eat the fuzz, Jack.
I like the fuzz.
No, don't eat. Stop having pica and eating fuzz. Okay, I looked first at the camera that is showing the live feed of the shot, and I'm like, where am I? I just sat back down. It's because it hasn't caught up yet, and it's fine. Everything's fine, Angela. Chat's not even caught up to you yet. There we go. Now I'm back. Colin, don't worry about missing the start of the stream. I'm glad you were working on your goblin mincers for from your ambush set. Nice. How are they coming along? Are you excited with how they're being built? Do you have some fun plans for them color-wise? Oh, your fire chief lets your cat hang out with you at the firehouse? Oh my god, that's so cute. I'm assuming you don't have like a dog then in the firehouse. Or maybe your cat is chill with dogs. I don't know. But that's so cool. Aww. That's so cute. They look good, like horrible labyrinths that drill through the walls. Oh, well, you know what? You know what? If that's your aesthetic, then rock it, man. No, I'm really glad to hear that, Colin. It's great. I'm glad you're having fun with them. Alright, so we've done that. Let's actually get the thing that we've been trying to fix, but it's in a weird angle and difficult. Oh, my neighbor's dog is going again. She has the sweetest little chihuahuas, but man, sometimes they just flip out. At the weirdest times, too. Alright, I think we're good. I think we're good there. I fixed what I had messed up. How dare I? Need to make it perfect on the first go. That's not true. Never believe that. You can completely 100% make mistakes and tidy them up and correct them and take time. It's fine. Oh, so you also have dogs, or you have a JM83, you have dogs. Maximus loves hanging out with, like, that's so cool. That's so cool that your, like, cat actually gets to hang out with you. Dude, also, very cool that you're a firefighter. That's not something I think I could do. Too much pressure. I'll paint minis, thank you. That is so cute. Dude, that's not a bad deal at all, Colin. Nice. Mantic's always had pretty good deals as far as I've been concerned. Like, they've always had pretty reasonable prices, which is nice. And lovely miniatures to boot. Okay, let's see. I am feeling pretty good. We just need to clean the tops of the boots a little bit. Okay, that looks good. There's a little bit of black that I missed as well. How dare I? How dare? Oh, very cool. Oh yeah, I imagine you have been very busy in Cali. I have seen a little bit of smoke from some of the fires up in the Bay Area. And it's, thankfully not gotten too, like, close to us or anything like that. But we've definitely seen it in the distance we've been driving. And it is never pleasant to see that. Like, oh good, something's on fire, great. Great. But yeah, I can imagine you've been very busy. Thank you for all of your hard work. Okay, I think we're finally cleaned up on everything, which means that we can start working on shoes. All the leathers. I'm so looking forward to dinner tonight. Making pasta with chicken and some garlic bread. Oh, and because I went to the farmer's market today, I have fresh fruit. Got some peaches this time. Very excited. The last time I was there, I sampled some of the peaches, and they were like so sweet. It was awesome. All right, let's not put that in immediate line of our arm, knocking it over. All right, ready for shoes? Let's do it. Keep going, don't let it dry. Go fast. Alright, we've almost got all the areas, and we can let it settle. And we'll do a second layer, because yeah, I watered it down a little too much. It's very thin. That's okay though. Like I said, I don't mind doing a second layer. Tends to get me a little bit of a better color anyways, but let's try to make it as even as possible. Don't get too much awkward pooling. Alright, it's looking good. Where did I not put it in my palette? Did I just go straight to... That might be the problem. Maybe that's the problem. Okay, let's do the other side. Go, go, go. It's looking good. Look at that. Look at those boots. So handsome. Okay. Pretty satisfied with that. Okay, let it dry. Don't touch it, Angela. Don't fuss with it until it's dry, or you're gonna make it look weird. And instead work on the straps, which don't take as many layers because they're not as big. Again, we're not going to worry too much if we get it on the shirt because we're going to have to paint over that anyways. We'll need them to be pure white later, so it's not a big deal. Not a big deal to get paint on them. Okay, that's looking good. Let's get the belt. Got some got some dark brown on his pants. Let's not leave that there. That could look awkward. There we go. Aw, well that's awesome. That's so cool. I love that you have 3 dogs and 1 cat. And that he, like, super gets along with the dogs. That's adorable. Does he behave dog-like at all? Because I know some cats, like, especially if they grew up with dogs, will sometimes behave a little bit like dogs. Because they pick up the traits. And I'm curious if yours does that at all. There's just something so adorable about an animal behaving like an animal it's not. I also like when like pigs end up picking up dog traits because they grow up with a bunch of dogs or something. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, that's so good. You sound like you have a very lovely cat who I would give many pets. Alright, I think we have taken care of all of the leather on this guy, so we're gonna let his leathers dry, move on to the next one, and then come back. We'll go through the paces again. Start with the straps on this guy, because I don't have as much paint on my palette right now. And I don't want to risk weird things happening to the boots, because I have to suddenly get paint in the middle of it. Sometimes the lighter colors you can end up with a little bit of the blotchiness that some people don't like from contrast, depending on how you're using it. And I can understand that. It's not always as nice in certain types of things, especially like certain types of leathers if you want it to be really smooth, which is what I'm doing right now. Alright, we're good. We've restocked our paint. Let's go ahead and tackle these boots. Or I guess technically they're cleats, aren't they? Is that what they're called for all sports?
The cleats are the spikes on the bottom of the shoes, so people refer to the shoes that have them on them as cleats.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize the spikes on the bottom were what were considered the cleat. Okay, well I do think these have cleats on the bottom then. Therefore, they would be cleats.
And it's every young man's job to find them.
Wait, what?
It's every young man's job.
To find the cleats?
Yes.
I don't understand.
You're not a man, so you wouldn't.
Oh!
Thank you for walking into that.
Oh! Sir.
Yes?
Sir.
I'm proud of that one.
Sir.
I'm proud.
You should be.
You walked into it.
I did. I was also extremely confused. And then I wasn't. Because I understood. I understood the joke. It's so dumb.
What?
That joke.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just sitting here cackling from it, silently to myself. Internally, I suppose is the word I should use. My goodness. Chat also liked your joke.
Aha.
Alright. Boots and leathers are done there. You also don't have a strap for your helmet, so we shall not paint anything there. Alright, the leathers are coming out swell. I'm very happy. Okay, there we go. Oh, there's one more strap up here. And then we can do his boots. More dark earth flesh. Okay. Now we gotta be a little cleaner here because we're now dealing with the guys with the bat wings on their boots. And while I don't mind a little bit of brown getting onto the black, I don't think it'll show up too much. And obviously they're running around on the field, so it could just be dirt. I do want to be a little careful to not overdo it. And make them look like too muddy or something like that, you know what I mean? That is not what I'm looking for. Okay, but this is looking good. I'm happy with how this is turning out. Oh, I forgot to clean that wing. Damn it, I did the other one, but not that one. Oh well, we'll fix it up in a second. Dumb. Can't believe I missed. There's always something, right? There's always something that I miss when I'm doing my cleanups. And I have to go back and redo it. Boots are coming along. They're looking good. Other than that, you know, one section that I borked. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. It's fine. We'll fix it in a bit.
Fix it in post.
Fix it in post. No one concerned. We'll just fix it in post. All right, last set of leathers to do. Since I just got fresh color onto my palette, we'll start with boots. Yeah, we're good. Cool. And then I think after that, I'll probably do my second wash of everything with brown off camera. Because I think, how long have we been going for now? What time is it?
You have been going for almost 3 hours.
Okay. Yeah, probably should take a break. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I think I salvaged that. Nope, hold on. Okay, we'll definitely need a second layer on that boot for sure. Possibly even a third. But I think I fixed it. I think it will be fine. I'll just repaint the whole thing in Wraithbone and I'll do it again. Okay. Alright. We just need to deal with the leather straps. And we'll be good. Oh yeah, I need to fix up the red on that armor. We'll do that too before we call it. There we go. Oh, thank you, Havman. Appreciate it. My nose just got tickled and I couldn't stop it. But at least I tried to give you a warning in case it ended up being loud in headphones. Alright. Need to paint the belt a little bit. Smidge there. Okay. Alright, we are looking good there. Let's touch up the armor before we forget, because I completely had forgotten that we did that. I need to fix it. And it's fairly obvious. It's literally on his back. So I would have noticed, but imagine if I didn't and I just left it there. The shame. It would be immense. Love how brilliant this red is. It's just so dang red. Almost violently so. Oh, thank you. Alright, we got our touch up on our red. I'll show you that in a second after I turn it back on. Although we are going to probably go ahead and call it soon because I've got the leather done. It needs a second coating a little bit, but I'll probably do that, like I said, mostly off camera. Like I can do it a little bit now while we're chatting and wrapping things up. Regarding upcoming videos and live streams mostly, I don't think we're going to do anything tomorrow. I think tomorrow I'm going to take a break. But I do think I want to do something on Monday. More than likely, I will probably be back here painting because on Wednesday next week, on the 4th, Space Marine 2 is going to be happening. That will be happening more than likely on the gaming channel. So expect that. I'm very excited for that. I think Chaos Cultist and I both have been just ready for that game for a while. And then, of course, on the 8th, as I mentioned, I'll be over on the Hobby Collabs channel starting at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard. Meg and I will be working on our Blood Bowl team. So it'll be very similar to this, except there'll be 2 of us. And I'll be over at her place. So that should be very, very fun. And then later in September, somewhere between the 22nd and the 28th, I'll be back on the Hobby Collabs channel for a Blood Bowl gameplay stream where Meg and I will actually face off with her Nurgle team versus my vampire team, and I'm very, very hyped for it. So make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss when the streaming schedule goes live. I've been trying to make posts at least an hour beforehand to let you guys know when things are happening, to give you a little bit more of a heads up so you can plan. Because I figured, you might want to know ahead of time because you have other things that you might be doing with your life. So it just gives you a heads up of when we're doing things. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. We got some actually very good work done on these during the stream, so thank you for that. I am very pleased to actually have gotten some progress on these boys, and actually feeling like soon I legitimately can work on the vampires themselves rather than just the ghouls. But these guys, the linemen, have been coming together very, very nicely, so I'm very, very happy. Thank you guys for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody!